She's an avid sailor. Her favorite trip was to the British Virgin Islands, and she worked in the auto industry in Detroit. Welcome to the Dean's Corner, Dean Mary Meixell. Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. It's good to be here.
Great to have you. So you are the Dean of our College of Business, and I want to get into some of the things you're most excited about right now that are going on within the College of Business. But first, I want to talk about you. This is the Dean's Corner, so let's chat about you. Tell me about yourself and your background, and let's get right into it.
Great. Well, thank you for that. Well, I grew up in central Pennsylvania. I grew up in a large family. I have 4 sisters and a brother. My family was in the catering business, so I've got background in food service and culinary. I have lived many places. I've lived in 6 different states, and I started my career in engineering. Studied some traffic engineering in one of my degrees. I was in transportation and traffic. When I drive up the street and the lights aren't timed properly, I think, oh, you know, I'd like to put my hand on that and make those lights time a little better.
We would like that in Providence too.
Yes. I've studied transportation systems. I was at MIT for a couple of years, and I learned about logistics systems, and then ultimately my graduate degree at Lehigh University was in the industrial engineering area and in supply chain management, which followed my time in automotive industry. And I spent almost 10 years in Detroit working with General Motors in the logistics and production control area.
Right in the heart of the auto industry. What was that like? What did you love about that work?
You know, I think that the most interesting thing about the work is what a big scale it is. It's a very tangible output, which is rewarding. You can stand at the end of the assembly line and watch the cars come off. And they come out about 1 every minute. You see a worker get in with the key, turn the key for the first time, the car starts. It's like a miracle. Drives the car out, and then it happens, and again in another minute, and another minute, and another minute. The company I worked for had 700,000 employees, mostly in the United States, and it was great to be part of that very, very, very big team.
What ultimately brought you into higher education?
Well, after 10 years or so in the automotive industry, I began to feel a need to get back into some study. I've always loved learning. I've loved the learning process, and so it was an easy step for me to go back into the university to do a doctorate degree. It was a way for me to renew, a way for me to, fill my empty gas tank, as if I can use an automotive analogy. With my studies in my doctorate program in supply chain management, I came to a faculty position, worked at 2 universities before this, and now here in the deanship position.
Well, we're very lucky to have you. Do you have children of your own?
I do. I have 3 daughters. My husband and I have 3 daughters. They're grown. They've left the house. They're out on their own now. And
as a parent, what was it that you were looking for in a college experience for each of your daughters and when you were sending them off?
Yes. Well, I have thought about this a number of times because over the years I've come to talk at open houses with prospective students about my advice to them, and it comes from my experience with our own daughters. I think ultimately it just needs to be a good fit. It needs to be a good fit intellectually, a good fit socially, a good fit from a career planning perspective, to the extent that you know at that point what you want to do. But when it's a good fit.
What do you see Johnson & Wales? How do we offer things that are unique and tailored to each individual who comes here through our gates?
Oh, that's a great question. I love the business degree because of its solid foundation in the business fundamentals. So all of our students here at the College of Business take a 36 or so credit set of courses that provides them a basis in accounting, finance, management, marketing, and a number of important supporting topics around that. And as they go through that foundation, they have a sense of, and develop a sense for what they like and what they're good at. Giving them some sense of purpose at the very earliest stage, but helping them to direct themselves and think forward towards a career. We're here in the Entrepreneurship Center, and we've got the Shark Fest activity that gives so many students a sense for what it's like to build and launch a business. But for our accountants, they do an activity in tax preparation, providing community service to folks who need some support in getting their taxes done. That's our VITA program. For the finance students, they make buy and sell decisions on some portion of the endowment. Our retail students, they experience the different types of career tracks in fashion merchandising and retailing, and they have a trip to New York City where they visit with alumni and see what careers the alumni have moved into, and come back, reflect on it, think about what fits for them, what they would like to do. My favorite story on applied learning is for our Charlotte students who, in their very first year, the very first semester, take a course where they develop a product and sell it. They buy the materials, they manufacture themselves, they price it, and then there's a market day where they all come together to sell to the school community. I happened to be there that day and I bought a spa kit. Love that blanket and
awesome.
love the lavender sachet. So now that's business education. That's business education at its best.
I know that we are celebrating 110 years as Johnson & Wales, and we started as a business school. How do we really honor those roots that Mary and Gertrude provided here to start Johnson & Wales as a business school?
Right. Well, we were student-centered from the start, helping the students to achieve the career that they had in mind and preparing them for careers. We very much continued towards that path and have had many transitions along the way. As you know, we started as just a business school where the students learn technical skills for business, and we've become quite a broad range of schools. But we honor our tradition of our founders by continuing to focus on the learning experience, hands-on experience, and applied learning, all leading towards a profession that the student has in mind and in their vision for themselves, for their future.
I want to play a quick lightning round with you. So first, what is your favorite book or movie?
One of my favorite books was Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles. It's a story about Russia during the Russian Revolution in the early 1900s, and a man who was confined to a hotel. He was under house arrest for decades, and how his perspective and his life changed over time. It's a fascinating book.
What was your favorite thing or the best thing that you did over winter break, which we just came off of pretty recently?
We have a couple of grandchildren. We saw our grandchildren. They were so excited for the holiday, and
Of course.
And some friends came by. So just doing what you're supposed to do, enjoying friends and family.
What are you currently listening to or watching?
Oh, I'm watching the Gilded Age.
Oh, which set, or filmed at least some of it in Newport, right?
It is. There's a thread of the business tycoon era in that.
Well, we said that one of your favorite places that you visited is the British Virgin Islands. Tell me either about that or what's a favorite place that you've lived, because you've lived several places.
Oh, well, and they're related. There's a theme here. We did enjoy a trip to British Virgin Islands. We took it just before the pandemic, and we felt lucky to be able to accomplish the trip. We rented a boat and we sailed around for a week. My favorite place is, of course, Rhode Island. You know, we love it here. We've got this great vibe in the city. The restaurant scene is fabulous. But also, this is where we sail now. We have our boat here, and we go out all summer long into onto the bay.
And finally, what powers you here at JWU?
It's the mission, it's the vision, knowing that we're doing important transformational work with the students every day, seeing their enthusiasm, seeing their excitement for going out into the business world. It is invigorating.